Yep, so it doesn't matter which way you look at it. The basic thing you're looking at here is our ability to create and transmute energy from concept into manifest reality through this process. So let's look at that. So first things first, knowing your outcome. So knowing your outcome is important because it directs our focus and our attention. It starts to direct what we're doing. It starts to align our thoughts and our feelings. So what is it that you want to give yourself? What do you want to create? And my recommendation is when you want to create stuff, make sure it's something that really gives you bliss. Make sure it's something that actually makes you happy on your heart level, not just something that you're going to get validation for, or not something that is going to give you some short-term gratification. Because even if you put all this energy and effort into creating it, then at the end of the day, it's not really going to be that fulfilling. So define worthy outcomes. Define something that's really big and juicy for yourself. Something that you'd really like to commit to creating. So do that now. Just want everybody to go through this process. Just think about something that you'd like to create, maybe just for this weekend. What's something you'd like to create as an outcome for this weekend? Who would you like to be when you leave this weekend? In the next few days in front of you. And the next question, which I think is a very powerful one when creating, is who does it serve? When you see yourself having that outcome, who else benefits from having that outcome? And how is that a gift to the world? And really think about that for a moment. Who's going to benefit? Family, friends, girls, people on the street, workmates? Who else? Anyone else? Because when we tap into a bigger vision of how we serve others, we get energy from that. And we feel a really strong sense of empowerment to move forward. And this is a huge thing that I see in the whole pickup world, is a lot of guys are going out there trying to get all the time. They're trying to get, like, if I can just get numbers, if I can just get kisses, if I can just get sex, if I can just get a girlfriend, I'll be good, I'll be happy, I'll have validated myself. And it just doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because it's based on getting, it's based on lack, it's based on fear of not having. If you flip it the other way and you start to think in terms of what awesome things can I bring into this girl's life, how can I be a romantic adventurer, how can I give her great experiences, how can I create amazing moments together, how can we share seduction together, how can we share energy, what amazing moments can we create together, what amazing moments can I create for somebody else in their day. Very different energy. Very different energy. And so I see it, like a lot of guys have a lot of freakouts about going out there and approaching people and really making these skills real when they're doing like the personal development through the seduction industry stuff. And I think the reason they have so much trouble is because it's not ecologically viable to be wanting to take from people around them. And they intuitively get that. They feel this sense of guilt and fear around it. So if they flip it to be a positive thing and how they're giving the world, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, they're a good guy. They're not a bad guy, they're a good guy. They're bringing good things to the world. And there's nothing to be guilty about for that. Even if someone rejects you or even if somebody isn't interested, it doesn't matter. All you did was give good energy. And in giving good energy, you still get to experience the good energy, so you win. Worst case scenario is you give some good energy out to the world. Best case scenario is you give good energy out to the world, somebody else takes it and then feeds good energy back to you, and you start this reciprocal relationship of positive good energy. So how does it serve others? How can you gear your outcomes and your creations and the things that you want to do to serve others? So you're giving good energy out to the world. What's the gift? The next one is connect with the feelings of having it now. This is where it gets a little bit funky. So just close your eyes and think about that outcome that you originally thought of. Close your eyes and just go in and feel what it's like to be standing in yourself as if you had it now. Looking out of your eyes, having it, seeing, hearing, feeling as if you were there right now. And as you step into it, notice that when you visualize and you go into it, you start to experience emotional patterns inside your body. You start to experience energetic changes. And this is key, because we have to become the person that's deserving of the thing we want before we can have it. So this is how we do it. Step into the thing you want. Feel the energy. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel. Notice, where do the feelings in your body move? Where are they located? Are they expansive or are they contractive? Are they heavy or are they light? What color are they if you give them a color? What kinds of thoughts do you have when you're in that energy? What kinds of feelings do you give yourself permission to feel when you're in that energy? And by owning that, staying in that state now, I want you guys to just keep holding on to that. We'll move on to the next step. So, because this is where it gets important to really have this energy. So you know what it's going to be like. Feels good. Something you're committed to. You know it's going to serve others, and it's something that's for the benefit of yourself on a higher level. And when you're connected with that, then we move on to the next one, which is, what are the fears and distractions that might try and take you out? So keep feeling that energy and start to think about what are some of the things that would normally take you out. So fears, procrastination, doubt, judgment, or even, what are some of the positives that might take you out? Maybe getting arrogant or distracted or forgetting about other important things in your life and getting imbalanced. And keep holding that original state energy that we were just cultivating a moment ago, and just feel those distractions trying to come in, but just like, just getting bounced off. Because you'll find that when you're in resonance with the thing that you really want, that the distractions and the fears, they can't really get to you. And in a way, they become your trainers. So when the distractions and the fears show up, it's like, cool, that thing's reminding me to be in my state. That thing's reminding me, what do I want again? Who am I serving? How does that feel in my body? Well, that's right, I'm committed to that. I'm committed to being a better man. I'm committed to creating an awesome business. I'm committed to creating, a free life for myself. I'm committed to being a good lover. I'm committed to being a good friend, or whatever it is that you choose to be. And that's when you start to build integrity and strength and all kinds of very powerful in-the-game things. And you can practice that. Like when I do work with people, what we can do is like, you can have people whisper in their ears all the evil shit that they like to think to themselves. And they just hold that state and they just be in it. And then it just helps them kind of cycle that energy through their bodies. You can have them whisper in the other ear all the good stuff they like to delude themselves about as well. And the point to that is learning to live in balance between those two extreme forces. Because everything's duality. Life is duality. You're always going to have challenges and you're always going to have victories. And you don't want either of them to knock you off. And that's once again where presence comes in, because presence is just neutral, it's balanced. And that doesn't mean you're a vegetable, it means you can adjust as those energies come and go. So a little bit too much heaviness comes in, okay, you just move that darkness out a little bit. A little bit too much excitement and mania comes in, just move that out and balance it out. So then you can just be constantly directing your life moment to moment, moving towards your goals. Next one is, where are you at now? So what's the gap? Where are you at right now compared to where you want to be with your outcome? Does it feel achievable? Does it feel easy? Because there's a thing called creative tension. So when we set ourselves an outcome and we want to create an outcome and we're in the present moment, there is a vacuum that stands between us and where we want to be. And if that tension is manageable, it's healthy, then we'll be able to close it. We'll be able to move through. And that's why it's important to set small, digestible goals that are easy and inspiring for us. Because then we create the tension, we close the tension. We create the tension, we close the tension. If we create goals that are too big, or that are too overwhelming for some reason, then the tension is so great that we can't make the quantum leap to make it happen. So we'll just unconsciously sabotage it. And then we start to feel guilty about our ability to create goals, and we start to doubt that we're creative, we start to doubt that we're potentially powerful and being able to do what we want to do in our lives, and it becomes a negative feedback loop. So know where you're at and make sure that the tension between where you're at now and where you want to be is manageable. And that leads us to the next one. This just intuitively arises. The next step is, what's your next immediate steps? What can you do? What can you do right now? And typically the best thing to do is stay in state. Keep that state flowing. Keep that energy going. And also then asking, what's my next action? What do I need to do? Do I need to talk to somebody? Do I need to make a phone call? Do I need to go for a walk and do something? Do I need to take an action to create something, write an idea down?